Sensational.
And go.
Hi, Kez. Season 2.
Season 2.
Season
This isn't going to
2.
be season 2. This is going to be like episode 4 or something in season 2.
Well, it's still season 2.
Yeah.
Just
Do
'cause
you
it's
want to start
episode
that
4.
again though?
Nah, it's cool. We
Oh,
can keep
okay.
going. Yeah. It's season 2. It's still season 2.
We're
You're
still
not gonna talk me
season
out of
2.
it being season. It's not season 3, is it?
No, I know it's not season 3, but
Okay.
by the time that this gets out, it's going to be quite late
Old
into
news.
season 2. Yeah, boring.
Okay. Boring.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. Yes.
Good.
I mean, what else am I going to say? Am I going to say that life's bad and tell you all my problems live on air?
That's it. You know what? When people ask how you are,
Yeah.
it's such like a passive question,
It's
isn't
such
it?
a passive
Because you
question.
can't go into it.
No. Well, you should, but you shouldn't.
You should, but also like it's usually like, oh, how are you? And if you say anything other than good, thanks you,
They're gonna
it's
switch off.
like
They're like, oh god.
it's like, oh shit, why did I ask
What have I
that
done from Pandora's box? And you have to find, especially at a party,
Yeah.
when you're talking to someone that you don't find very
Interesting.
and you have to try and find a way to get out of the conversation. It's difficult.
It is.
Very difficult.
It's tricky. It's a tricky time.
What do you do to get out of that?
Out of a conversation?
Out of that conversation.
Say I need the loo.
That's good.
Yeah. What do you do?
I think I'm too empathetic.
Or when you just
And
listen?
Yeah, and I get invested and I find out their problems and then maybe contact them afterwards and be like, did you sort out that problem?
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Just made me sound like a complete bitch.
You are? Yeah. Live on? Official.
You heard it here first.
Well, you wanted to get carried out of a room on a chair like Mariah Carey.
Listen, now this is where you twist my words. I didn't say
go on.
that.
What did you say?
I just said it would be cool. Imagine getting to a point in your life where, like, we were talking about Mariah Carey, basically, weren't we? And how, you know, she's of a certain status and she can do certain things.
Okay.
Of the diva status. Yeah.
She's still a diva status.
I don't know if she is now.
I
don't know what she's doing now. But at her time, in her prime, that's where she was. And I was just saying how cool it would be to get to a point in your life where you can just be carried out on a chair and, you know.
That's called old age.
Oh, they have a name for those chairs. It's a wheelchair.
Stair lift.
Stair lift.
Yes. Highway to heaven.
Stair lift to heaven.
Yeah, stair lift to heaven. But what are we talking about this week? Because there's quite a few things in the news.
A lot's popping off.
A lot is popping off.
It is. And it's all in the themes of relationships, ex-relationships, in the worlds of social media, sex work, the public eye. It's a lot is just happening.
A lot is happening. Speaking of which, so you know you asked me how I am
Yeah, go on.
before. You're not going to have any sort of relevance or any knowledge of what I'm about to say.
Sure.
So it's completely pointless, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Go for
But it's really good because there's this footballer who came out yesterday or the day before. Your face just changed straight away. Your mind switched off immediately.
I'm not saying.
And he was just talking. He was really good. His name's Delle Alli. He was really, really good. He's English, still quite young, but he's been off the scene for like 4 years. And
What's the reason?
Your face is like.
I just asked a question. I'm trying to be involved.
The reason when no one knew the reason.
I'm not listening.
This is not for me.
You ever go on autopilot in conversations that you don't want to be involved
this is that
in?
party situation.
I need the toilet.
So he's been off the scene for like 4 years.
Okay.
And then recently, a couple of days back, he came out and told everyone why that's the case.
Right.
And I thought it was really brave to do that.
Oh,
and I feel like
is this what you shared?
this is what he shared, to the public, to like not live, but on a recorded episode with another footballer. Just said, I've been going through issues and I was abused as a child and stuff like that.
You shared this on your story, is it that
I
one?
did, yeah.
I
Which
watched
is really
that.
cool.
It was really
because I don't know. I mean, I think in situations when people ask you how you are, sometimes you don't always have to say, I'm good.
No.
You say I'm bad.
Yeah.
You
You can say, you know what, I'm not that great today.
Yeah, you can literally
But
say that.
it's easy for us to say it, but it takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to divulge that information to whoever
But
you're talking to.
why is that? Is that because we think that the response we're going to get is not conducive to us solving the problem? Or is it because we just don't want to share our problems? Because what he was saying was he didn't want to share his problems. He wanted to deal with it himself internally. And it wasn't to do... For me, it's more about I don't think the other person's going to care.
Is that why?
That's why I wouldn't share my problems.
Right.
What about you?
For me, I don't necessarily like sharing my problems because I feel I'm going to be a burden to the other person. Because I've been in a fair few situations before where people have shared what they're experiencing, and not necessarily had the capacity to take on the issues, but have done it anyway, of course, because, you know, it's a friend or a loved one. And
did it help them?
Yeah, to share it. Which I guess if you're going to flip that, it would probably help me share it. But that's what I always think about, is that sometimes people don't have the capacity to take on your problems.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah. It's not to say that I'm not receptive to loved ones' issues or I don't share what I'm going through, but that's just generally sort of...
You don't want to burden them, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So for me, I feel like... I'm going to keep talking so we can cut this part out. But I feel like the issue mainly is about the idea of growing as an individual and sharing your problems with other people. But at the same time, I get what you're saying. I get where you're coming from. Like, it's not easy because you have to think about so many factors that are external to your problem.
Yeah. Basically.
And it is a burden to give to someone else.
Yeah, but then I think if we're going to widen the lens on it, that burden is kind of the human experience, isn't it? So it would make sense to share that information. You know, it's a real catch-22 situation.
It is.
But for this person that you had watched yesterday that has come back into the limelight, what was the reason for him sort of going away and internalizing it?
Oh, good question. So from what I heard, he felt like, I don't know, he just came to a point where he realized that he was doing things of addiction to cure his problem. And he just came to a point where he was like, I shouldn't do this anymore, because, you know, there were pictures of him in the news doing balloons, that thing. Do you know what it's called?
NOS?
I think it is called that. Yeah. Did you say NOS?
NOS. NOS.
Yeah, he was doing some NOS. And they found out that he was doing NOS and they put it all over the news. And he said, basically, all this time I've been ignoring the fact that people have been saying stuff about me and just getting on with my life. But now I need to address the problem, because he had therapy for six weeks in America to deal with these problems. And he realized that it came from a childhood when his mother was part of a crack house and he was a little child, and he used to see drugs and he used to see all sorts of stuff. And he just kind of internalized it, and then thankfully got out of that situation and went to an adopted family, and they were really good for him. But those traumas he hasn't dealt with until now, and he's still dealing with them. So I'm sure he won't be back to his best. But it's really good to see someone come out on TV in front of millions of people and share their issue. Yeah. Because it shows other people that you can do that as well. Not on TV, but with friends and loved ones.
No, absolutely. Like the bravery and the courage that it took to talk about something so personal. Like before we started recording, we were talking about a situation where like I had to divulge information to someone in private, and I didn't necessarily want to do that. And that in itself was hard. So I can imagine like talking to how many people, like what was the platform, like millions?
It was
millions.
I mean, it was on YouTube, but I'm sure it was on Sky TV.
The outreach, so
like
it would have been
20 million people.
So to talk about something that personal is horrendous.
It is. I guess it depends on the scope of where you are as well. If you're a famous person in the public eye, I think you almost have a responsibility. It sounds really bad, but you almost have a responsibility not to share your problems, but to show other people
that it's possible to
do that. Because I think with the rich, with great power comes with great responsibility, which is a line from Spider-Man. Yeah, good. I like it. Yeah, I like that. But it kind of feeds into what we're talking about today, which is...
It's a great segue, I've got to say.
It is. I'm blessed there.
You
didn't think I was going to get
No, when you started talking about this, I was like, interesting.
You were like, shut the fuck up.
I was like, sports. Again.
Look, Marcus, this wasn't in the script. That's what you're thinking, wasn't it? You're thinking,
I was looking at my notes and I was like, I would see sports isn't anywhere, my friend. I don't know why we're talking about this.
I thought I'm going to like...
No, I like what you did there. Yeah. And the segue is... sharing the people of a celebrity status sharing their private life online.
Totally. Yes.
And
especially one, in the fact it wasn't Jonah Hill, it was
Sarah Brady.
What is she? She's ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend,
Yes.
professional surfer. I don't know how many years
How do
they
you
had.
become a professional surfer?
I think it's in competitions. When you
There's
win
competitions.
there's surfing competitions. Yeah, like if you go on competitions and you win and then you become a professional.
How do you win? You have no idea.
No. I mean, I made that last answer up, so I didn't think there was going to be another answer for me to bullshit my way through.
So if anyone knows, if you can comment in the comment section, how do you become a professional surfer?
Yes.
And thusly, how do you win a professional surfing competition? Because I'm stumped.
I feel like it's how long you stay on the board.
It's like that buckaroo thing. You stay on the horse. Is it like that? Is it like that?
Where you have to sit on it and
and
it
it
goes
spins
around.
Yeah, it's like that.
Maybe.
Okay.
But the surfing version.
Okay. That sounds completely feasible.
Yeah, I think so. If we're wrong, let us know, though.
Yeah, let us know.
I feel
in
like
the
we
comments.
are a little bit.
I think we're totally wrong. But she's a professional surfer.
But she's a professional surfer, is the crux of what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
And recently she had released screenshots from a one.
She did. I have them here. Shall I read them?
Oh, yeah, go
I
on.
think it's hilarious.
Oh, no, not
think
hilarity
it's
of this.
It is. So Jonah, shall I?
No, please. Yeah.
Jonah Hill sent her a message saying, plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendship with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures. What does that mean? Friendships with women who are in unstable places and from you and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something. I'm not the right partner for you.
But what's wild sorry, was that the end of the text?
There's more, but I don't want to read it but he does use the word boundaries.
Yeah.
He said, my boundaries with you are based on these actions, have hurt our trust.
You should go into spoken word, you know.
I should.
That was really a great,
Thank you so
powerful
much.
delivery.
I thought I did really well.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
You should start a podcast.
I think I might do that
No,
without you.
I wasn't expecting that turn.
Okay, so here's my take on this.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
You think it's funny?
No, not funny. I think it's fine.
Fine. Oh, I think we need to say, though, that this list that Jonah has given her is everything that she was before and during the relationship.
Ooh, you're going to hit me with that trump card. Okay.
I think that's the card I'm going to pull. Just
you're not even going to argue with me. You're just going to hit me with that.
I think it's important to say because it's obviously to communicate boundaries and, you know, what you're comfortable with in a relationship is incredibly important. And I see from that angle of zero context that reading that text is fine, like what you said. However, contextually, it's a bit problematic because that's who she was. That's who she is at the time.
Yes. But don't you think that just as with anything in life, life is quite fluid?
Yeah.
And where he was when he met her and he saw her sexy pictures on Instagram and he's like, I want that.
He's like, follow.
He's like, I'm going to get her, wife her up and then change her. Don't you think that where he is now is like, okay, now she's wifey. Yeah. Now she needs to change. Now she can't do this anymore. Like she's put herself out there. She's got me. I'm her best catch. So now she needs to change because she's put herself out there. She got what she wanted. Me. Now she needs to change. She needs to stop that stuff.
But that, I don't know this, but I imagine considering that list is her personality or her livelihood, that was never discussed to be the case. That kind of assumption is incredibly toxic. Do you not think?
I think it can come across as very toxic for sure.
Yeah.
But I think this is how he's thinking. He's thinking to himself, she's mine now. Why is she still posting sexual pictures on Instagram and social media?
But she's not his. She's in a relationship with him.
Ooh, you're reframing it.
Well, a marriage isn't of possession. You're not someone else's. You're in a relationship with that person. You're cohabitating with that person. You're two individuals who have come together. You're not two individuals who have morphed into the same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I give you...
Please.
Yeah?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, say, for example, let's bring it back to sports just because it's easier. I'm a footballer.
Yep.
I'm going around, I'm wilding out every night, I'm doing my thing, and then I meet my queen.
Your queen,
yeah, my queen. And then she's got me on lock, but I'm still wilding out. And she's like, my boundaries are, you can't wild out anymore. You need to behave yourself now. I'm like, but you met me like this.
That's a really good argument,
Yeah.
I've got to say.
But
my
a big butt. Big J-Lo. Hit me with it.
big
Hit me with the butt.
the big J-Lo. I'm ready. Here we go. Is that it goes back to what I said originally. Communicating your boundaries, and if you're uncomfortable with something in a relationship, is pivotal to making a relationship work.
Sure.
I agree. But I think your example and the Jonah Hill example are
Extreme.
Yeah, two
Okay.
very different extremes. Because I think with your example, the context of going out and partying is very much latched to a single life and has its connotations if you are in a relationship. And say if your girlfriend was to communicate that with you, then that she was uncomfortable, I think she's well within her rights to do so. But I think this screenshot from Jonah Hill was lifted from a number of screenshots. I think.
I see. So there's more.
I think there's more,
Okay.
and they come across incredibly sort of allegedly
Charged.
emotionally abusive, controlling, manipulative, all through the framework of therapy jargon.
Yeah, which we have to give a bit of precursor here. He did have, and he does have, a few mental health problems, which he has spoken about previously. So that terminology may come from
his sessions.
and he may have spoken to his therapist, and his therapist may have said, "You need to tell her your boundaries," and he's now told her his boundaries, and she's put it out there on blast for everyone to see.
Yeah.
Which is out of order, no?
This is the thing. I was reading this article where she mentioned that releasing these screenshots would help her mental health, or wouldn't do as much damage to her mental health as keeping them to herself would.
Okay, sure.
Which is the reason that she released them.
Okay. To millions of people. And it goes back to this conversation of kind of making things public that could have been private. And for this, in comparison to the story you shared about the footballer, Delle Alli,
I think for this, if we're going to give it sort of a connotation to what she's done, is that it's okay to speak out if you're being manipulated, if you're being emotionally abused, if you're being controlled. And I think that's kind of the framework that she's putting out there.
Okay.
Was it done delicately?
Not at all.
But that's the platform that's being laid. For me as a woman to see that, yes, it's something that could have been dealt in private, but and it's a very sensitive situation. But it also shown that you can speak out.
Sure,
and that
totally.
This kind of communication in the context that she's given is emotionally abusive and manipulative. Are my thoughts.
I mean, she can speak out. I feel like she's spoken out too vastly.
Yeah, it
too
kind of
loudly.
went from like nothing to everything.
Yeah.
And
And I kind of get it, because she feels like she's been emotionally abused, so now she's almost flipped it on his head.
Taking back the power.
And she's now, Jonah Hill's getting a lot of flack, so he's getting the emotional abuse. So no one's won.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame, because ultimately it's a private matter between the two of them, and it should be dealt with privately. And I feel like this has not helped the situation at all. On either side, by the way. I'm not saying that she's done wrong or he's done right, but I do feel like it could have been dealt with completely different. Just like Mr. Darius Johnson. Is that his name? Darius Johnson.
Darius Johnson.
Okay.
Keke Palmer's baby daddy, for anyone who is not.
Baby daddy. Can you tell the audience what a baby daddy is?
It's the father of your child.
You sure that's what it is?
Yeah.
The father of your child.
The dad of your baby.
So my dad is a baby daddy.
Aren't we all? State of mind.
Isn't it? It's a derogative term, isn't it?
It's very colloquial.
It is. Oh, lovely. It's
pulling out the big words here. I've got my dictionary. We've got a little storage space.
Oh yeah, just pull it out there. Have a little read whilst you're not on camera, and then hit me with the big words. So I look stupid. I like it. Clever.
Thank you.
Very nice. So Darius.
Yes.
Talk to me about Darius, because he's done the same thing.
This is the thing, though. Like, these people, I don't think we can put them in the same basket of them speaking out about private matters in a public forum. Yes, they did that, but they did them in very different contexts. So Darius, let's explain the story.
Go on.
The situation.
Keke
Palmer, I think, was going to an Usher concert.
She was at an Usher concert, yeah.
Usher brought her on stage and serenaded her. And
that's beautiful. I'd love that.
I
would love that.
Imagine being serenaded by Usher.
That'd be so cool.
Oh my God.
What's that song, Go, with Little John and Ludacris? Get serenaded to that.
How'd that one go?
No, is it Go? Ty, what song is that? Do you remember?
Ty left the chat.
the Usher song where it's like, it's not Go. Yo? No. Yeah. Little John goes, yeah.
Getting serenaded to that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's quite
Ludacris
a hyped
jumps
song.
in. You get a three.
Go on, finish your words. Yeah. I have the little s at the end of 3.
No, it's just 3. You get 3.
Yeah, 3 for the price of 1.
Artists. Little John, not so much, but Ludacris.
Usher.
Yeah. To your face. Saying yeah to you loudly on stage in front of
I don't think
people.
I'd like to be serenaded by that song specifically. I think that would be a bit too much for me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, but noted for when we bring
my birthday.
Yeah, for when we go and see Usher.
We're going to see Usher
in LA on his residency.
We're going to see. Oh my God!
Not LA, Vegas. Sorry.
Okay, has he got a Vegas residency?
I think he did.
Okay.
Or maybe he was just in Vegas. I don't know.
Is this what happened? It happened in Vegas?
I have no idea. We've gone off on a tangent. I'm trying to think of what Usher song I'd want to be serenaded with.
I think that song when he talks about cheating on his baby mama.
That
song?
What's that song?
Yeah. He's singing. The whole song's about him apologizing. Confessions. Part 1 and part 2. Yeah. Get serenaded to that. Would be really cool.
That would be cool. That'd be a bit heartbreaking. I feel like there's better songs. Anyway, Darius Johnson.
Yes, Darius Johnson and Keke Palmer.
Yeah, Keke Palmer got serenaded by Usher, and to note, she was wearing one of those dresses that had like the bodysuit and like opaque bodysuit, but then like a mesh dress over it.
You're making it sound like very classy.
I think it was a beautiful dress. I think she looks
beautiful,
stunning.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
He doesn't think so. He thinks her booty was all over the place.
Yeah. What was the quote?
The quotation was something like, "If I would. If you're a mother, you should dress up or something."
Yeah. No. So there was a picture of her on Twitter, and he quote tweeted it.
Whose quote is it? His own quote.
He quote tweeted the tweet. The picture of her being serenaded by Usher, saying, "It's the outfit though, you're a mum." Obviously got loads of hate from that, and then proceeded to follow up with, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is."
Oh dear.
Thoughts?
So he's quite offended that people have come out and said you can't say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how would you feel if you were married to Keke Palmer and she put her booty cheeks out there for Usher?
I'm married to Keke Palmer. I don't think they were married though.
No, they're not. Definitely not.
They're in a relationship?
They're in a relationship, yeah.
I'm in a relationship with Keke Palmer. I'm good.
Yeah?
Do your thing. Live your life. I'll be at home. I'm there, you know, like you're in like how insecure, but how insecure do you got to be to put something like that could have just been a conversation, like in the kitchen when she got home. She'd been like, "Oh babe,
that's a bit sexist."
Why
in the kitchen?
Because like after you come in from a night out, you're hungry.
Okay,
you can go for a snack.
You fix him a meal.
Maybe he could fix her a meal.
Ooh.
She was the one that went out.
True, she's tired from all the dancing with Usher.
Exactly. And
okay, yeah, I mean,
in whatever room of the house, have a conversation. Just be like, "Oh, I'm not really a fan of what happened
you know that
tonight.
thing that you did on stage with Usher?
Why couldn't that be me?
I didn't like it. I don't like him.
But like, how insecure do you have to be to put that in like a public space? Twitter, of all places.
Yes,
savage out there.
That was quite savage. His sentiments I kind of agree with. His execution I do not agree with.
Yeah.
And when I say sentiments, I mean not the fact that she was wearing whatever. I mean the fact that he feels like, again, it comes down to this property thing. He feels like that's his property.
Yeah.
She shouldn't behave in that kind of way with another man who's very famous on stage, and she's also famous, so it's going to cause a lot of speculation. He's probably feeling a bit insecure, because I don't know what he does, but he's not as big as Usher.
No, I don't know what he does.
Probably feeling very insecure at them, and you never know. Like in the home, they may be having issues.
Maybe you just don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah, there might be Viagra involved. There might be.
That's not a laughing matter.
That's not a laughing matter.
It's not a laughing matter.
It's not at all.
No,
and you just laughed. And
it's just the way you brought out Viagra is the issue. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, or maybe he's tired of cooking her meals.
Yeah, those late night snacks.
Late nights while she's going out and partying with Usher.
Yeah.
So she gets on stage. He sees it. He's like, wait, I'm cooking her a meal. I'm looking after the kid, and she's up with Usher.
She's not doing this every night, though, is she? She's gone out for a night out to go and see Usher. She doesn't see Usher every day. I'd be living life if I was. Yeah.
Okay. So if you were with Keke Palmer.
If I was Keke Palmer, oh my god, life would be.
You'd be on chairs every day, getting carried everywhere.
I'd be carried everywhere. I feel like I could really live that life, you know.
I think you're really good at that.
What, being like a diva?
Yeah, for sure.
I really feel like I could get into it.
I think you're kind of doing that now. In all
fairness. Being a diva?
A little bit.
Oh my god, how?
Yeah, even it's just, like for a minute, you just pulled out a piece of paper. You pulled out a piece of paper a minute ago.
Quote. That's not being a diva.
I haven't pulled out any paper.
You pulled out the screenshot.
I read from the quote. Yeah.
I just did the exact same thing.
Okay.
What is this double standard? Segue.
That's good. And then we have Adam 22.
Yes.
Famous. So you can probably tell, if you haven't yet, we're doing a bit of a theme. And we're just going through the celebrities to re-enhance our theme.
Yes.
It's called, what's it called, Kez?
A motif.
There you go. It's called a motif.
Called a motif to this episode.
And then we're going to have a conclusion at the end.
Because we are distinguished, educated people who are talking about celebrity gossip.
We're uneducated, distinguished educators.
Yes.
I lost you.
Checked out. I need the toilet.
So not Delle Alli, Adam 22.
Yes, famous YouTuber, American YouTuber. And
he had a
OnlyFans star.
Yes.
He works with
porn
his
star,
wife.
YouTuber. His wife is a porn star as well.
Yes.
He has a channel which is called No Jumper. I can't remember. But they were huge at one point. I think they're still huge. But he had a lot of co-hosts that were quite famous in the sense of YouTube famous. They started leaving the show because he did something. I can't remember exactly what he did, but he pissed them off. They left the show. His numbers went down. So recently...
Yes. So it's also to note that he has an OnlyFans channel with his wife, Lena, sorry. Okay. Which is where this story derives from, I think.
Okay.
Why? What?
No, I can tell what you're doing. You're laying the groundwork. So when I argue for him, you're clever. You're clever. Go on, finish it. I'm giving context.
Sure. I'm just giving context. Sure, this is not pre-medicated, I promise.
Go for it.
Medicated? Meditated?
Both.
Sure. And his wife so they made content together. And then his wife made an adult video with someone else, a male.
I love your wording.
Thank you.
Content and adult video.
Yeah. What do you want? Porn. Made an adult film with another man.
Yes.
And this was the first time that this had happened in their relationship. And Adam 22 got so much backlash from it. Yeah,
so he's made content with a lot of women. They have made content together with a lot of women. Like you said, this is the first time that she has proposed to him that she would like to do it with a dude.
Yes.
And he was like, okay, cool, that's fine. I guess I can't say anything because I've done it as well.
Yeah.
And like you said, he got a lot of backlash from people who called him many words.
A cuckold? Can we say that?
I love the way you say that. Yeah, we can.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
That word always trips me.
It does. I think it's Shakespearean, isn't it?
Maybe. It sounds it. Yeah. I believe that.
It's a beautiful word. And then simp.
Simp, yeah. Not so beautiful.
Not so beautiful.
Quite the opposite.
Yes. Where I stand with it is, what's going on?
Yeah,
What's happening?
It's just the double standard of it all for me.
That as well, but also, why are you making porn? And why are you making it with your wife?
Why not? If you're able to have sex with your wife and make it look good and get a revenue stream from that, then fair fucking play. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Not from like a relative point of view, but just imagine being in a space where like
the thing you normally do with your partner is monetized.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a statement. Like we can unpack that, but I get it.
Okay.
And I mean, sex work is work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally. I do get that. Just with your wife, I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you see the problem in that?
Well, it's going to sound quite a bit like what we've been talking about previously, which you've kind of debased, which is property. And I guess if you're in a relationship with someone, especially married to someone, they're not your property, but this is the person you've chosen to spend the rest of your life with. And now that person's all over OnlyFans, but male and female, all over OnlyFans with their butt cheeks out and other stuff too. So
but it's all consensual.
It's not beautiful anymore. You've had a beautiful white wedding. I mean, outfits white, not people. And
in this case.
People as well, they can attend. And then it's a lovely day. You've had cake. You've fed it your cake. You've got a statue of each other on the cake, and like the mother and the father are there. They've been dancing to Lionel Richie or someone, Mariah Carey or Smash Mouth or whoever they've been dancing to.
We went from Lionel Richie to Mariah Carey to then
Smash
fucking
Mouth.
Smash Mouth.
For the kids. It's for the kids.
Bring in the Shrek costume.
And then you go home and have sex and then film it and then put it on OnlyFans.
Well, I don't think it happened exactly like that.
It didn't, but I'm taking it to an extreme.
Yeah, you're taking it to an extreme, and I get that. But I don't think, like all relationships, there's no blueprint. I think it's the same for work.
Write it down.
You know. Someone told me that the other day.
Did they?
Yeah, because we were just talking about it, and they were like, "No, there's no blueprint to relationships."
Just putting it on Threads right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. What do you say?
I'm not telling you if you're going to take it. Let me put it on the Sensational one at least.
Okay.
And it can be both of us. You can retweet it.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you in a minute.
That's good. Like blah blah blah. There's no blueprint.
Yeah, a relationship relationships. There's no blueprint to a relationship. I don't think it's fair to kind of categorize what people should do with their sex life if it's all consensual.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
yeah, I'd say I personally
you wouldn't. That's fair. That's so fair.
That is crazy.
For me, no, I could never either. I can just about be on camera here. Could you imagine
be awful content, you and your partner,
sack of potatoes,
just standing there in front of each other, fully clothed,
That's
even more clothed,
layers on. You know that scene in Friends, where Joey wears all of Chandler's clothes. That would be me.
That'd be you.
That would be me in that context.
Like, are we gonna do it? No.
Stop. Cut the cameras.
Zero content.
No, like I feel like it takes a lot of like.
No, kudos to them.
Genuine.
Kudos to them.
Yeah.
But I think it goes back. So here's my thing with
Go for it.
Kim Kardashian.
Sure.
I would never have married her.
Knowing.
Because she has a sex tape out there in the public. And it's not because I don't like sex work. It's not because I don't think porn is good. It's because it's my partner and potentially the mother of my children. And you saw what happened recently. I know it was staged, but I think her daughter was on iPad.
Yeah, and then it came up.
Yeah. And her daughter's 7 or something.
Yeah.
Just imagine when she's 15 and she will actively
and
go
she
out and
understands
seek it,
what that means.
My mother is on the internet having sex.
100%. And I completely appreciate that. And I think then it's down to the individual to understand that, you know, what anyone does digitally is then there forever, right? But then in this case, it's a very extreme form of like, this isn't going away if you put this out there.
It's there for good. Yeah.
It's there. And it's on that person to understand that and recognize that and then be able to sensitively manage that situation when children are involved, when other partners are involved, and it's not for everyone, and I get that. And I feel like I'd be in a similar situation if I was to meet someone who
had made content.
Yeah, for me,
you wouldn't date them.
I don't know. I don't think I feel comfortable.
Just what if it was personally. Like 8 months in, you've gone to where's somewhere nice in Italy?
Lake Como.
You've gone to Lake Como together. You're walking hand in hand in the sun.
Yeah.
Lake of Como, and you're both looking at each other. And he's like, "I've got something to tell you, baby." And you're like, "What? You're gonna propose to me?" And he's like, "No, I've done porn." And you're like, "What do you?"
Into Como, I go. Into Como, into coma. Like, I don't know what I'd do if I was faced with that situation.
It's too late then.
Does he still do it?
No, it's just out there.
Was it just a one video?
It was a few. It was 10.
10 videos.
Like 2 years ago.
2 years, so recent.
2 years is recent?
Fuck yeah, okay. 2 years is recent.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm thinking
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Still fairly.
I think you'd get over it, wouldn't you?
I don't know. It depends how famous, how well known these videos are. And all of this is to say I'm not shaming anyone who has been in that situation. It's just me personally. I don't think I don't know if I'd be comfortable. I feel like I could get over it though.
Yeah?
I feel like I could. If he doesn't do it anymore.
You're all about the Christian side of things, turn the other cheek kind of thing.
Not turn the other cheek, but acknowledge and accept.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I feel like if I turn the other cheek, because if I turn the other cheek, then that's just going to build up into resentment, isn't it?
True.
I'm not about to live with that resentment. That's just draining.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we talk about the ins and outs of it, we can,
But then what about when your children come out?
And
come out. When they come out.
Come on.
Shoo.
Get out.
And they come to you, Mummy. Mummy.
What's this video of Daddy?
Daddy, what's he doing? And why are you
not there?
Who
is that lady?
Who's the lady? Oh, just a friend. Just one of his ex-friends. It's tricky, right?
It's tricky. What would you do? Same situation.
Lake Como,
10 videos,
she's held
5
my
years
hand,
ago.
She's looked me in the eye. And
You're like this. She could be the one. Like you're in love.
Oh, she's gone.
I really thought you were gonna maybe speculate a little bit, have a little, debrief the way that I did. You were like, I was like, okay, she's gone. Like, okay.
As soon as she's finished, like the last letter in the word of that sentence, I'm already gone.
It's just a dust cloud of you, Scooby-Doo
She's
style.
She's talking to herself at that point because I'm gone. I'm not hanging around for that. No, because I don't know. It's like, okay, so when you're in a relationship, you do at some point ask the person about their past relationships. How many bodies have you had?
Yeah. And I hate that.
It's not a good question, but it's a good question.
Yeah.
And
no, it's good.
If the person, and again, this comes down to a gender thing as well, because if you ask a woman that and she says 5, you're like, well, that's quite a lot. And if she asks,
do you think 5's a lot for a woman?
I think for a guy, they're thinking 0's good. They're thinking 5 is quite a lot. What a slut. 5?
What, so you just want to meet a woman and expect her to be a virgin and that's that?
I'm just saying, on a general consensus, again, in the comments, if this is not true, then please say something. But I think that, I think 5 is like, 5?
In what age are you expecting 5 to be?
If the person's 30. And then 5, you're like, okay, that's quite a lot, If they're like 2, you're like, what's wrong with them? So there's a nice 3's okay. 5 is like
3 at 30 years old.
3 at 30, 10 years each.
Not from day
Not from day dot, of course.
10 years each.
Not for 10 years each, but just not from 10. Just to be clear about that. Yeah.
From the consenting age.
From the consenting age, 3 is good. Yeah? When they start saying 10, 12, 15, 30, 50,
that's problematic
60.
for you.
Not for me. I'm just saying generally speaking.
Oh, I thought you were talking from
generally.
a personal
I'm not talking personally.
experience.
Because for me, from a personal experience, I don't really ask that. I think my first few relationships, I'd ask that question.
Yeah.
I don't really care anymore.
Okay, fair.
I'm mature.
Yeah. I'm just nosy.
Oh, you're just nosy.
I'm just nosy when I ask that question. It's not that I care. I'm just...
What if they say 30?
Curious. Like, wow, impressive.
Mm.
You tired? Red Bull? 30 people.
Have you been tested?
Have you? Yeah. That I think that's probably one of the reasons that I would ask as well. It's just...
Disease.
Yeah. I don't think quantity defines that, though.
You sure?
No, I am sure
100?
with that. Well, obviously, if you're going to go into double, triple digits, then... Yeah. But like... Someone could be like, I've known people who have only been with like 2 people in their lives and still
that's beautiful.
managed to contract something.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry, I should have finished my sentences a little bit quicker there.
Contract something. Okay.
So I think quantity of people defines.
Oh no, not at all.
Testing.
But I think the more you do it, the more chance there is.
The more prone you are.
The more prone you are to a disease.
To that life.
Yeah. But I honestly think in 3 situations, Adam 22.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Let's go back to what we were
Let's
talking
go back to what we were talking about. Adam 22. What's his name? Darius Johnson.
Yes.
And Jonah Hill.
Yes.
Lovely names.
Sarah Brady.
Brady. Keke Palmer. Is Brady, yeah. And Keke Palmer. See, cheating. I'm cheating.
I didn't learn the script.
And then the last one was Lena, that's it.
Adam 22's wife.
In those situations, what's your overriding thought?
I think that all sat within their own context. I think when it comes to... I think what was really important, and I'm really grateful that you spoke about it, was the footballer who... I think the reasoning of him coming out and discussing that on such a huge platform and what we were talking about making it aware that it's okay to talk about these things. Yeah. I think that and the Sarah Brady incident are somewhat interlinked. Okay. I think seeing women speak out about abuse and seeing men speak out about abuse as well in the... What was his name?
Delle Alli, who's abused by his... uncle, I think, when he was 6.
Oh my god, that's awful. So the Delle Alli situation, him coming out and as a man speaking out about something like that with the topic of sort of sexual abuse, I think is incredibly heartbreaking but also equally as brave and important. And then interlinks with the Sarah Brady side of things, that someone of a status like Jonah Hill, who is a seemingly loved actor, and
not for you.
Yeah, we'll talk, I don't want to be slanderous. Okay. But did you see You People?
I didn't see You People. I avoided that like the plague.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. Anyway,
I was quite excited though when I saw the trailer. I was like, this could be pretty good.
I think it could have been really, It's
Eddie Murphy. I was like, okay, Eddie Murphy.
I know.
I love Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
he's been pretty good recently. And then I started seeing the reviews and I was like... Anyway, sorry, go on.
Sorry, we're sidetracking again.
Yeah. But it's all beautiful.
But yeah.
It's all
Jump
beautiful.
Street was sick, though. I really
Jump
liked
Street
that
was
film.
lovely.
That's such a funny film.
My God, what a great film. Ice Cube, Channing Tatum.
Stellar cast.
Delicious.
Sensational. Yeah. All of that is to say that I think when it comes to speaking out about those topics, I think depending on how they're handled can be really integral to other people and seeing that from a higher sort of fame status, if you like.
Sure.
Things like Darius Johnson, he's just dumb. I just think that was ridiculous.
Cool. So you've gone from a beautiful articulated argument to he's just dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I honestly speaking, I understand where he's coming from.
I understand his... Well, I don't understand his opinion, but I understand him having an opinion.
I don't like how he did it.
But the way that he did it was
not cool.
Was not fun at all. And it's just... It comes from a place of insecurity. I don't know if I'm completely contradicting myself here, but I do see the Darius situation as completely different to those 2 other situations.
Yeah, I think the way it's handled the way each situation's been handled is very different.
Yeah.
And I feel like some have handled it well and some have handled it very poorly.
Yeah.
I actually think she didn't handle it very well, Sarah Brady. I think to put it in front of so many people, I understand why she did it. I don't think it was handled the best way.
I would agree with that. I think there are definitely better ways to release that kind of information.
Like maybe within his friend circle, with people that know him, to help him fix himself. I know when you're in that situation, you're not looking for the other person to fix themselves. No. You just want to cause as much damage as possible.
Yeah, you want to take back the power, and you want to show people who seemingly adore this guy
that maybe they're not
who he actually is.
Yeah, but my only issue with her situation is that was a private conversation they had, and it's, what he said can be taken as emotional abuse for sure. I'm not denying that at all. But I feel like it was a private conversation that she's now turned into a public conversation, and she's getting a lot of abuse for it.
Is she?
Which is silly. She shouldn't get any abuse for it. But she's put it onto a forum where she's gonna get abuse.
But it's a public forum. It's social media. Forum. People in social, so it's fair. Not that it's fair game, but it's also
kind of is fair game. Yeah, it's totally fair game.
People can comment on it because it's accessible to them.
She made it accessible. She made it accessible. She didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So, but I get where she's coming from. But I also think in a relationship, you are allowed to reframe where you are at that specific point in time and say to someone,
definitely,
hey, these are now my boundaries, and I don't like what you're doing, and I want you to change. Because I was in a relationship 2-3 years ago, where I was with someone. I knew they were very poor at communication via phone. Okay. Like they'd go for days without messaging. And in the first few weeks, I was like, this is a bit strange, but I can adjust to it. And then after like a year or after 6 months, I was like, this is not cool. I don't like it. So I'm going to have to have a conversation about it and try and change this thing. So you do. Again, it's fluid. You do change in relationships.
No, 100%. And I'm not disregarding the fact that you do. Everyone, whether you're in a relationship or not, you are ever changing. You're ever growing, ever evolving. And I get that. But to take your situation, for example, your example was something to do with communication. Whereas Jonah's text was pretty much a bio of who Sarah Brady is. And how she likes to depict herself on social media.
Yeah.
So to ask her to change all of that is
too much.
It's her identity. Do you know what I mean? Or what she depicts her identity to be on social media. But yeah,
I think ultimately, to wrap it up, it all comes down to control and people wanting control of other people,
and people being insecure,
being very insecure.
Yeah,
which you can't blame some people.
Insecurity is going to come and go. It will come to the most sort of self-assured people.
Sometimes you're with the wrong person. Simple as that. I don't think people like to hear that, but sometimes you're just with the wrong person.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may feel like you're punching above your weight, and then when you get that person, you're like, yes. And then 6 months down the line, you're like,
fuck.
Yeah. It's like me jumping in the ring with Mike Tyson. I can't think of anyone relevant now. So Mike Tyson. And I'm thinking, I'm going to beat Mike Tyson, I've been training for 6 months. Okay. I'm looking good.
Yeah.
I beat all my sparring partners. I jump in the ring with Mike Tyson. I'm standing there. I'm like, he's going to fuck me up. I want to leave the ring. And it's like you get into a relationship with someone who's, to you, is like on a pedestal. And then you're like, oh no. What have I done? Yeah. Every time they talk to someone, I feel insecure. So yeah, it's insecurity with Keke and with Jonah, and with Adam. I guess I applaud him for being secure in his decision to.
That's what's interesting, is that he was secure. He was secure enough. Stood by
it, and he's actually now. Fine. I saw yesterday he's interviewed the person that.
No way.
But again, I think he's done all this as a publicity stunt. So let's take him off the table.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate's come out and called him a simp and a cockhold.
Lena then backhanded that she was like, "Thank you for the free publicity, Mr. Tate," which I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Andrew Tate sometime.
Yeah.
But for now, we're going to close this off.
We're going to wrap it up.
We haven't spoken about this lovely flower.
Yeah. Flower? Plant?
Yeah.
Grass?
Plastic?